What's up, so True Teen? It's your girl, Mickey Truth, SC's #1 urban blogger and the queen of paperwork. This video is not going to be long. I am having some issues this morning that I have to go be seen at the ER for, but I wanted to get this video done because I was supposed to drop it on yesterday. So let's get into it.
We have Mickey Truth.
Who is this? You got Mickey Truth kicked out.
Shout out Mickey.
Let's get one thing clear. This your girl, Mickey Truth.
All right, so a lot of people in the comments on the previous videos that I have made in regards to the Duchess Dior and the Frenchman tragic story has been saying, well, it was her house, why he had to stay, or it was his house, whatever. And I'm like, it kind of get a little tricky when you're talking about a married couple. This is not just a living boyfriend, a living girlfriend where you can evict them, give them 30 days if they have residency there. And you may be like, well, Mickey, what is residency? If somebody say, hey, what's your home address? And they say XYZ, which is your house, that means that's their home. If mail comes there, that's residency. So previously when we reacted to the story out of Lithania, Georgia, in regards to the baby mama that killed her baby daddy, and you remember she first said he don't get no mail here, he don't got no property here, whatever, trying to make it to where he couldn't prove that he lived there. But with marriage, it's a little different. Now, I am not a lawyer. None of this is legal advice or should be taken as legal advice. This is my opinion of how I interpret the law, okay? So, as a married couple, husband and wife, even if only one spouse's name is on the lease or on the mortgage, you still cannot evict the spouse. Meaning you cannot provide a 30-day notice to your spouse. No matter if you're upset, not upset, whatever, cheating, not cheating, you have to go to court and file a divorce, file some type of restraining order. Like you have to file something with the courts in order to have your spouse removed from the property, okay? And you may be like, well, why you gotta do all that? Listen, you're not able, and I believe it's similar in Georgia, you're not able to change no locks. You can't technically legally do anything. Now, some husbands, some wives, they'll leave on their own, okay? Y'all know I have personally told my story where I left my husband. I left him the house and I got me a new house, okay? So it wasn't no issue about this ain't your house, it's your house, whatever. Hey, I left, that's his, and we have grown to respect the boundaries with it. So again, it worked for us, but at the same time, sometimes you don't want to leave because you feel like, hey, this my issue just as well as yours. Now, this is another thing, right? So if a property, now mind you, it got to be separate. My bad, y'all. So for example, if one of the spouses have another properties, whether they bought it, whether they was gifted it, but it was before the marriage, then normally the spouse don't have no claim to it. However, what's going to happen, you still have to go to court, right? You still have to say, hey, this is my property, XYZ. That was a home we shared over here, not this home, things like that. But again, you still can't just put your spouse out technically, right? All right, now, if domestic violence is into play, that gives you another option. But again, you still have to go to court. You have to do a temporary protective order, okay? And I'm going to be honest, you have to go before the court, tell them XYZ happened, like he hit me this day. And a lot of times, a lot of these issues are not documented, so it's kind of hard. But if, for example, Zaria wrote her friend and said that basically she dropped the charges, even though she dropped the charges, she could have still asked for a protection order because she has a documented incident that occurred, okay? But she would have had to take initiative to that. Now, as far as the property itself, the home that we saw in the live and all that, this is what's up for question. A lot of y'all is like, well, that was her house. She said she paid for it, this and that. Well, again, even if you're physically the person that paid for when you're married, and then or even if you ain't married and you put somebody's name on the deed, is y'all's, right? At the end of the day. So, according to public records, the owners of that house was Zaria and Shamarcus. So the Duchess and the Frenchman was jointly the owners of that property. So at the end of the day, they both had a legal right to be there. But it would have took court involvement to force one of the ones to leave. Now, if the police would have came during the fight or whatever, I don't know if Georgia is that different, because I know here in South Carolina, one of y'all got to leave or both of y'all will leave if y'all don't de-escalate. Okay, but as we saw in the previous story, we reacted to. In Georgia, they just let you stay there. They didn't force nobody to leave. So maybe that would have been the case here if they would have came. All right, and you may be like, well, Mickey, how do you, when did this all happen? So that property was purchased July 2023, okay? It was purchased for $25,000, and if you look over here, the purchase was done by Zaria Carr, okay? So that makes me feel like she was definitely already married. Now, under the circumstances, and I don't feel well, I didn't feel like going through the live, but I do recall the live that's still listed on his page. He does say he came home married. I believe Zaria and the Frenchman was married before he got out of it. They did a YSL SB and Caleb Bumpus thing. They got married while he was locked up. Now that's my opinion. I may look later and find out that's not it, but that's just my opinion for now. So we know from our previous video that Shamarcus got out in September 2023. So you see that here? So also in September 2023, Zaria added Shamarcus to the home, as you can see here. And you can tell that she did it because it's deed of gift. Everybody knows for tax purposes, okay? For tax purposes, when you just doing something, you just say, okay, it's a gift. It wasn't no money. Because if she would have put, $25,000 we paid for it, she would have paid taxes on it. So by just adding somebody and say, hey, it was just a gift, $0. So they both own that property, okay? And not only was it property, but it was also, again, land. Okay, they had 4.72 acres of land. So that was also on. It was a land mobile home combination package, for those who know. Okay, so again, they both had legal right to be there. It was just a matter of who was going to be the bigger person to leave. And as we saw, nobody was the bigger person to leave. No one left until tragedy had hit. Now, I do have a few questions for y'all. I'm going to leave y'all with, and I'll check in later once I'm able to feel better. Do you believe Shamarcus had a car that night? Because we know, based on what was released by the GBI, is that he took her car. Okay, now it could have been their car, but her car, and went on the run. So I'm thinking well, why would he jump in her car instead of his car? You know what I'm saying? So it makes me feel like maybe he didn't have a car. And again, if he don't have a car, how is he going to leave? He could have called a ride, but at the same time, she actually had a car there. So it definitely furthers the rabbit hole with it. But as always, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to pull up on your girl Mickey Truth. I'll catch you on the next one. I may not drop until Monday, though, depending on how I feel. But I will be dropping again soon. See ya.
And like I said throughout the video, that's my opinion.
This is the weakest. Give a fuck about what they scream.
Holla!
Shout out Mickey. Mickey, you gonna be big.
I'm trying to conquer the world, coming from where I come from. Hey, this your girl Mickey Truth, #1 blogger in South Carolina. Hold on, wait, before I go, y'all make sure y'all tap in with me to book your slot. A lot of y'all be hitting me up on Instagram and the email wanting to just talk about content, whether you're an up-and-coming content creator or somebody just got questions about cases or whatever. Book your consultation with me now. The information is on the screen. Hey, make sure you get your slot, because my slots be filling up fast.
What's up, Truth Team? I am here, okay? About to get a touch of love. Yes, I'm at Touch of Love Massage shop. Okay, now listen, I've been getting my massages through Touch of Love for years, even before it was a shop to come to. But let me show you around, and then I got to get ready because I'm feeling a little tense. And let me tell you, if you work in like call centers, streamers, YouTubers, sitting at that desk all the time, you definitely need to be tapping in and get your massage. So let's take a tour.
So it was located in a nice business building. The suite was set up real comfortably. It was like to the back, and the candles was burning. The aromatherapy was definitely there. Okay, so I had to get undressed, and I'm like, yo, I gotta get all the way undressed. But anyway, like I said, being getting massages, Nakia is awesome at what she does, and let me tell y'all, them hands are blessed, okay? I got the full body massage, including, okay, the hot stones. And when I say that hour went so fast, I even went to sleep. And I always go to sleep during massage for some reason. But yeah, definitely needed that because y'all know I had a night ahead of me, okay?
Guys, I'm Nakia. I am the owner operator of Touch of Love Massage Services. I always start with people. I start with the information of what massage is. So massage is the manipulation of muscles. Exercise is the manipulation of muscles. The only difference is we are manually using our hands to do those activities. So a lot of people look at massage as a luxury when really it's a health necessity. So I'm more on the medical side of things. So if you're experiencing any pain of any sort, muscles is 90% of pain, so I would recommend you to come and get a massage.
How can they follow you?
I do have my business page, Touch of Love Massage Services, on Instagram. I have Touch of Love Massage Services on Facebook, and if you want to set an appointment with me, you can look me up on Setmore. It's an app platform online where you can book appointments.
Hey, there you have it. And y'all, I feel like a new woman, but now it's time to party. So I'll catch y'all on the next one.